Hello, everybody. My name is Monica McAfee, and I am the Chief Marketing and Innovation Officer at John Knox Village, and we are so delighted that you're joining us. We know this has been a very challenging time for everybody, and we are so proud to say that we have absolutely no known cases at John Knox Village, and we are so proud of that and our incredible team. We want to keep you updated on everything that's happening with Westlake. We're still making great progress, and we have not allowed the pandemic to hold us back and keep us captive to everything that's been going on. So we can't wait to update you on what's happening. So let's take a look. We're going to start with our agenda. Of course, we just did our wonderful welcome. I wish I was seeing you all in person. We're going to give you an update on our current projects, future projects, Westlake renderings, floor plans, pricing, and next steps. So let's get started. So just to let you know, we will be opening our brand new Welcome and Innovation Center beginning probably the end of July. And if you take a look at the top left corner, you'll see a rendering of the Welcome and Innovation Center. And that's where we'll be hosting events for you all to come visit. You'll be able to see more renderings of the Westlake and the view and the terrace. We'll be hosting events in the conference room below. You'll see that. We'll be doing wine tastings and cooking demos, and that space will open up to a beautiful patio. Then if you look up to the right, you'll notice the design center. And in that area, you'll be meeting with our wonderful move-in manager, and you'll pick out your designer finishes for your beautiful new homes. There'll be examples of course, tile and flooring and countertops and cabinetry. So we're very excited about that. And that will be here before you know it. So we'll look forward to inviting you to some events there, hopefully in early August. Now, if we go to the next slide, you'll see our incredible aquatic complex. Some of you may have been familiar with our single pool, and it was very old and very dated, and we have so many residents that really enjoy swimming. So this is an all-new, beautiful, state-of-the-art aquatic complex. You'll notice in the top left-hand corner on the rendering, that is a lap pool. That's will have 4 lanes, and it will have easy accessibility. So you don't have to worry about going down a ladder. You'll be able to go down some steps. Then if you look a little just beyond that, you'll see the resort pool. And that will be where you can just do free swim, as well as an array of classes that we'll have for everybody. Just beyond the resort pool, you'll notice our village center, and that's where we've been doing our large-scale events. And just adjacent to that is going to be the new restaurant. A little bit to the right there, you'll notice that's where we'll have our poolside sports pub, and we'll be hosting events there as well. Then just beyond that, we'll have our pickleball and our bocce ball courts. And that is all going to be ready in early October. So we're very excited about that. To the right, you'll see another view of the resort pool looking into the poolside pub area I mentioned to you, sports pub. And then down on the bottom left, that's another view of the poolside sports pub. And then to the right is a rendering of the beautiful new restaurant. So you'll be able to come visit and enjoy that as well. This is a rendering of the pavilion. We're going to be beginning construction on that in October. And that is where we'll have 2 new restaurants and a bar and a new auditorium area, which will seat about 400 people. You'll also notice that there's the expansion of the lake. If you look at the roof line of the building on the opposite side, that is where the auditorium will be. And that's where we'll be hosting large-scale events, cultural events, concerts, lectures. If you go to the foreground of that area, you'll notice the palm trees and outdoor dining. To the immediate left is 1 restaurant, and then in the center is another bar, and then to the right is another restaurant. Then you'll start to see the promenade area where you'll look at Westlake and the terrace and the view buildings. This is another view of the area of the pavilion. You'll notice again, it's very similar to kind of the San Antonio, if y'all have ever been to Riverwalk. There's going to be a full promenade around the lake there, and that is a view from the view building looking at the pavilion. Now, these are some important timelines, and we do have a little bit of a delay because of COVID, just generally because things have been very difficult for you all to even get on campus. So we had planned to do our priority deposit phase through the end of this July, and that's been bumped out until the end of March of 2021. Then, beginning in April of 2021, we'll begin our 10% phase. And in that phase, you will, whatever apartment home you select, whatever the value of that home is, we'll calculate 10% for that, and that will hold your place. You'll get to select the exact apartment home that you want, the exact view that you want, and that will all be done based on the day and the date that you put in your 10% deposit. Someone had a question in advance of the presentation about a refund on your 10% deposit. You'll at any time be able to receive your 10% deposit back, less a small administration fee, which I think will just be in the range of about $500 to $1,000. We're not sure what that is yet, but we want you to know you'll get the majority of that money back if you choose not to move forward. So once that phase completes in January of 22, we'll begin the construction phase, and the construction phase just goes out a little bit further into April of 2024. Now, the objective through all of this, and based on another question that we received, how many deposits do we have to date? So we have, let's see, 220 priority deposits right now. So we're trying to get to 315, and I think we're going to do that sooner than this foreseeable plan. So based on that, everything would move a little bit sooner. Now, this is a really important slide because I really want you to take some time to orient yourself. For many of you, you've entered our main gate on Southwest 3rd Street. You can see the cursor there. That's the main gate. As you come through the main gate, you'll notice the new building, which is our Welcome and Innovation Center, which I pointed out to you in the very beginning. That will open in the end of July, early August, and that's where we'll hopefully get to see you all really soon. Then to help you orient, you'll see the Eastlake building. And if you look directly across Eastlake, you'll see the Westlake building. But I want to take you back from Eastlake over to the Village Center and Auditorium. Some of you have attended events in that area. And then just beyond that is the aquatic complex that I showed the renderings for, to just give you some perspective. Now, directly across from that general area from the aquatic complex, you will see the new view and the new terrace building. So that gives you the bearings for understanding where the Westlake area of the campus is and our two new buildings, the view and the terrace. I hope that orients you. Now, for many of you, you enjoyed this bird's eye view of the view and the terrace. We're going to show this to you again just to refamiliarize you with this and to also share with you that we're in the process of making this much more realistic. We're working right now with EDSA Landscape Architects and Perkins Eastman Architects. So the area where you see the cursor is an area called the Grove. And now we'll start that bird's eye view for you. So enjoy this presentation. This takes you around, gives you that view from the aquatic complex, coming in through the canal over to the lake with Castle's Tower over to the left. And to help remind you that just beyond this, heading west, is 95. We come around the promenade and take a look at the pavilion. Again, pointing out the outdoor dining and indoor dining areas. Coming around, looking from a western perspective, the area of the pavilion you see there is where the auditorium is. And then you'll notice how you would access the underground parking in front of the terrace building, and then again, ending up in that beautiful tree-lined area called the Grove. Just a reminder that on the first floor are all the amenities that will be used by everyone on campus, including a marketplace, a sacred space, an art studio, a business hub, a tech hub, And then for the residential areas, there'll be lobby reception areas and your mailbox areas. Then on the second and third floors will be the covered parking, and then the residential areas. And for the view, which is the larger, taller building in the background, which goes up 15 stories, and then the terrace building going up 11 stories. All right. So here's another view of the view. We keep saying the view, but you can enjoy and appreciate the fabulous views that each of these buildings will have, both facing east and west. Now for the floor plans. Now you all should have received these in the mail, and if for some reason you didn't, please let us know. Some people we found out are up north, and we need to mail those to those prospective residents. So here's an Amelia, which gives you an overview of a 1-bedroom and a den. And I want to just share with you all that we've spent a lot of time on these plans and finalizing them. You saw tentative plans in various presentations. Now what we've done is we've refined where closets are, how doors open or swing open, or where we've utilized pocket doors, or where we've maximized square footage in bathrooms as well as closet areas, and where we have the laundry, washer, dryers. It's very important to note on the bottom of the rendering here, the floor plan, you see where this particular Amelia is located in the building. So if you look where it says 4th floor, 5th through 11th floor, 12th through 14th floor, and then the 15th floor. It gives you an idea of where that particular apartment home is located. And then again, the ability to look at which direction that particular apartment home is facing, north, south, east, west. Alrighty. Now this is our Biscayne, the 1-bedroom and den with 2 baths. And this is a really great square footage at 1748. And it shows you where it is located again on the bottom of the floor plan in the darker gray area. And so that particular apartment is facing northwest. The Cobia, this is 2-bedroom, 2-bath at 1508 square foot, and it's available in the terrace building. This is a really lovely location. It faces due east, so you get that full eastern view of the canal and the lake. The Captiva. Now, I want to point out on this particular floor plan, if you look where it says den, you can either elect to have that den, or you can take that wall would be removed, and that would increase your entire open living dining concept. And then it opens up to that beautiful balcony just to the right there. And that again is about 1768 square feet. Again, looking at the view for that particular floor plan, again, giving you that eastern exposure and a full view of the canal and the lake. Looking at the Tarpon, 2-bedroom and den, again, your choice on whether or not to use the den at a 1845 square feet. And we have 16 of these particular apartment homes available. Again, looking at the exposure on this particular floor plan, north and east. This is the Sanibel. This is a lovely apartment home, and if you'll notice the angled balcony, and that's 2-bedroom and a den with 2.5 baths. Very open floor plan, but yet giving you that added privacy for the 2 bedrooms on either end of the apartment home. And then the view here being west and a little bit south. The Siesta. This is a very large, this is our penthouse, and there are only 2 of these available at a maximum square footage of 2259. And there are only 2 of these, again, giving you that maximum square footage and that separate kind of bedroom arrangement, master and second bedroom. Just a refresher that there's a total of 150 apartment homes, with the majority of being 1-bedroom and den. We did quite a bit of research on this. Some of you may have even been involved in those focus groups. I want to reiterate that we do not still have final pricing yet. As you can imagine, we're looking at the cost of construction. We're looking at the land, how that's going to be accessed with construction. So generally, again, the pricing is in the range of $332,000 up to the $609,960. And again, the monthly service fees ranging from $2,900 up to about $4,800. So next steps, we want to let you know that we'll be scheduling some more Zoom opportunities to get together. We want to get back to you on the pricing. We're working very hard on that with finance, with our partners in construction. We know that's very important to you. We're going to have a host of other fun and exciting events for you. We're very gently easing into providing events for small groups, about 8 people to an event, but we can also do individual meetings with you as well, and we're delighted and happy to do that. So now we have some questions. I know I answered a few of them at the onset because we had some advance notice on a few questions. So we're going to pull those up and I'll be able to read those to you and then answer some questions. So bear with me because I'm reading from a screen. What is the average noise level from I-95? What I can tell you is this building, of all buildings on campus, of course, we'll be using the hurricane-proof windows, and that you shouldn't really hear anything from the road. So I wouldn't say that you couldn't hear absolutely anything, but you really should have very minimal noise from I-95, because remember as well, it's set back. And if you, for those of you who are not familiar, it's even further set back than Castle's Tower or our South Garden Villa area. See if we have any other questions. Please feel free to ask away. I'm delighted to help answer any of your questions. Let's see, there were a couple others that may have come in earlier. If you all don't mind, I'm going to read from the hard copy here. Oh, this is a good one. Will the units in Westlake Village still have one garage space allocated per unit? And that is still accurate. There'll be one space for covered parking, and then additional parking for those of you who might have 2 vehicles will be in another area on the campus, not far from where Westlake will be located, kind of in our Gardens West area, a little bit closer to where I-95 actually is. Here's another good one. Will there be storage lockers or cages similar to what exists currently in other buildings in Westlake Village? And if so, what will be the approximate size? I would venture to guess the approximate size might be about 4 by 6. It could be a tad larger. I'm not sure on the exact space yet. Of course, we're still working with the architects on that, but of course, that's something we'll update you on. We know storage is very, very important to people. They'll be located on the same level as your accommodation, so you don't have to worry about having to go to another story. We answered how many priority deposits we've taken so far. We talked about the 10% phase. We talked about the construction. So we're still looking as well at the 10% for whatever the cost of the particular apartment home is that you select. What is the service fee for the second person in a unit? Right now, that fee is anywhere between $15,000 and $20,000. That has not been finalized, just like the rest of the pricing, but I feel very confident that it will be in that price range. And I want to give you pause here for a moment to think about that second person fee, because what in essence you're getting with that second person fee is full coverage for the term of your contract, which is unlimited once you become a resident, for different levels of care. And would be happy to share any other additional information on that if that would help clarify things for you. So please feel free to reach out to us. Wondering if we have any other questions? Okay, we have another question. Are units available on the first floor? As a reminder, the first floor is truly all purely amenities. And as I mentioned, that includes a theater, a tech hub, a marketplace, another dining venue, a sacred space, let's see, an art studio. And then it's all the residential space for the party rooms, if you will, and then your mail area. So no, there are no residential spaces on the first floor. The residential spaces commence on the fourth floor because on the second and third floor, you have parking. What are the total number of units in Westlake? The total number, 150. So I hope that helps. And the application process. So you've already begun the application process. So if you are a priority depositor, you are in the queue chronologically based on the time or the date that you provided your deposit. And from there, we'll go to the 10% phase. And then from there, we'll go into the opportunity to actually move in. We'll go into construction and then move in. I hope that helps. If any of these questions you have, you need more detail, just let us know. Is there a discount for someone who has long-term care insurance? Actually, there isn't. What I suggest for people who have long-term care insurance is to set up an appointment. We're delighted to spend some time with you. We have an expert on staff who can literally go through your policy. In some cases, it makes sense to keep your long-term care insurance policy. But really, the true benefit of living at an entrance fee model, type A contract, is that you have all your long-term care insurance available for you in the future, should you need assisted living or skilled nursing or what's traditionally called memory care, because we don't refer to it as that at all. Where is the major dining area? The major dining areas are in that pavilion area, which I shared a little bit earlier, where there are 2 restaurants and the bar just adjacent to the Westlake Village area, which is the terrace and the view. And there is a small dining venue actually in the village, in the tower building, the view. If you move to JKV before Westlake is complete, can you transfer? Absolutely. We have a number of people who've actually already done that. They wanted to take advantage of the lifestyle that John Knox Village provides. So they've already moved into John Knox Village, and we are calling that our perch project, if you will. So you can come to John Knox Village, enjoy all the benefits of John Knox Village. Whatever you pay for your entrance fee, if you come to John Knox Village early, will be applied towards the purchase, if you will, or the new entrance fee. And if you designate or identify yourself through that process, there is no transfer fee. Normally, a transfer fee runs $15,000 to $20,000. So that's a big savings, and you get to enjoy JKV now. Let's see. What does the monthly fee cover? That's a great question. That covers a dining declining balance for you, which are dollars that are set aside for you to take advantage of dining venues all around campus. So I mentioned the dining venues in the pavilion. We have a dining venue at Woodlands called the Bistro, and then we'll have a new dining venue over at the Aquatic Complex. It covers bi-monthly housekeeping. It covers all your utilities with the exception of added packages through cable. It gives you basic cable, but if you want additional cable, you would increase there a little bit, and your Wi-Fi. So you pay a little bit extra for your Wi-Fi. That's just generally what the monthly service fees cover. Are there real estate taxes? No, there are no real estate taxes. Each year we do an ad valorem, and that enables John Knox Village to pay just one particular fee for real estate taxes. So you don't have to worry about any real estate taxes whatsoever. Let's see. Will I be able to customize floor plans, substitute pocket doors, or move kitchen appliances? We'd like to remain as flexible as possible on some of that. Definitely with plumbing, you wouldn't be able to do that because the building is built in stacks. So we have to go where the plumbing is to do that. If there are minor revisions, then certainly we would be more than happy to accommodate that. And as far as picking out your designer fixtures, finishes, absolutely you have the option to do that. Will you have a price per unit? Oh, when will we have the price per unit? Well, we're hoping in the next 6 weeks. It could be a little bit longer. Again, it's not as simple as just calculating a price per square foot, because we're working with building costs. We hope to have that very, very soon. We've been working on an analysis, and we hope to have that hopefully within the next 6 weeks. Will any moving expenses be covered if you are already a resident? We typically provide some type of allowance for that. What we do on the front end, so we could apply it, we could maybe break that up for you. We do have a wonderful program, our Ready, Set, Go move package, where if you're moving from out of town, we allow a move allowance of up to $5,000 for certified move management, as well as packing and moving. If you're making an internal move, it would probably be in the range of about a $1,500 allowance, which should generally cover any of those fees, especially if you're just moving from one particular home to another on campus. Will one restaurant be fine dining? One of the restaurants will be a little bit more upscale. I can't say that it would be true. I mean, if we look at super elegant fine dining, it will be fine dining, probably just not quite. I wouldn't say it's Ritz-Carlton 5-star dining. It will be fine dining. The menu will be exquisite. I don't want to mislead anybody, because there's always a casual air to John Knox Village. So it will be finer dining. So I would share that. And actually, the exciting things that we'll share with you as priority depositors, you'll have the first glimpse as we go through the process of naming those venues, and also the renderings for those venues. That flyby video that we did, we're going to have a new video within the next 6 weeks for you to see as well, which will point out those restaurants. I can tell you that our dining is award-winning, and we're also taking a much more healthy approach with vegan meals, with gluten-free dining options, and I can tell you the dining is excellent at John Knox Village. Please review the target construction timeline. Can we pull that slide back up? I'd love to show that to you. I think it comes. Thank you, Thomas. I have a wonderful partner in crime here helping me with slides. So if you take a look at this, what we're looking at is completing this priority deposit phase by March 2021, that blue arrow. Then we go into the green arrow beginning in April 2021, and that's when we will come to you first as a priority depositor to make your selection for your particular apartment home. You may say, I want a high view, I want to be on the 15th floor, I want to look due east, I want to look due west. That's where you'll be able to make those selections, and that will go through January of 2022. And then once we get to 105 of those deposits, which could be sooner, we hope it's sooner. We are seeing that demand just with our priority deposits, and then we begin construction. And the construction can take approximately up to 2 years. We're hoping it's 18 months. It may go as long as 24 months. I hope that helps. Let's see. As you go up in the building, will the prices go up? And yes, there's typically a premium depending on the height and the floor level. And then there are premium views. So there will be some added fees for those kind of bonus spaces, if you will, where you have the benefit of higher floors and better views. Are window treatments included? At this time, no, window treatments are not included, but there will be a selection and a variety for you to choose from. And I can tell you that we work with a group of preferred vendors, and we get the best possible pricing. It would not be full retail pricing that you would be paying if you were residing in your own home, because we have the leverage of providing that particular vendor with the opportunity to provide discounting. Please repeat the start construction date for the 2 towers. So the start construction date is most likely February 2022. Now we're already at the middle year point of 2020. We're looking at moving these dates faster. As you can see, we had to take a little step back because of COVID, because we haven't been able to really connect with prospects for the construction. So we're holding in that 220 range, but we really feel like things are going to be picking up soon. Let's see. Will you be having view renderings for each apartment? We will be having those. We were very adamant in working with both the landscape architects as well as the general architects, Perkins Eastman. They will not be from every specific floor, but we've generally gone from the 4th floor to about the 8th to the 10th floor, and then above that to give you a view. So we will have those for you as well. And I'm just going to be transparent. We had very specific questions about the view looking west and how does that impact your view with Castle's Tower. I can assure you there's a really great vantage point from the apartments without looking into Castle's Tower. So let's see. I think we answered all that. Let's go back to the cost per unit slide, because that's going to be the range. And that's like the 332,000 range up to the $609,000 range for the penthouse apartments. Remember too that you would be adding the second person fee if there are 2 people, and then your monthly service fees will go up incrementally by the second person fee as well, which will run in that $1,500 to $2,000 range. So it will just depend. And I know that's very important to everybody because pricing is critical to everybody. But this, we feel very confident we're going to come in generally this range for pricing. I hope that helps. Keep looking. New way we do business, all remotely and all via computer. I think that's it. Well, I think that's all of our questions. It's been a pleasure seeing all of you virtually. Look forward to having you visit us in small groups. Hopefully we'll have no more than 8 guests at a time doing physical distancing, which is at least 6 feet apart. I think that's something that I want to share with you before we say goodbye is that we had a number of residents pay to provide a full page ad in the Sun Sentinel on multiple occasions, as well as the Miami Herald and the Pelican, the all-new Pelican in Pompano, to thank the residents, or for the residents to thank our board and our staff for keeping them safe and well and healthy, and I hope happy during this really, really incredibly unprecedented time through a pandemic. So I encourage you to reach out to your life plan consultants. I know they've been chatting with you. I'm available to you as well. I wish you all safety, health, and happiness, and look forward to having you on campus very soon. Be well, stay safe, and thank you very much. Bye now.